it's Sam. So today I'm going to be doing a review and demo of the new Sigma 3D HD blender. Did I say that right? Let's see. I did. It's the 3D HD blender. So Sigma has finally come out with their very own beauty blender sponge, which I'm really excited about because I happen to be a fan of Sigma brushes. I have been for years now. I was a fan of their foundation brushes, especially for Sigma, because I feel like their foundation, their flat top kabuki, like that's what I always applied my foundation with for years until the beauty blender came out. And then that's when I started getting into the beauty blender instead of the brush for applying my makeup. So I was really excited when I found out that Sigma has brought out their very own beauty blender sponge. So this is the PR packaging it came in. Sigma was nice enough to send this to me. So there are two colors. There's a pink one, which is a bright pink. Mine has just got makeup because I show you the demo. And then there's a black one. So that's just preference of what you prefer. Black obviously isn't going to look as stained as quick. But if you like pink, you like pink. These are $15, so I think the price point is really good. It's definitely a lot more affordable than the Beauty Blender. It's also a little bit cheaper than the SL Miss Glam Beauty Sponge, which is what I currently use. This I believe is $19 or $20, so you're still saving yourself $5 by using one of these. Sigma always has their coupon codes. They're always 10% off. I will try to find one for you guys, and then I will leave it linked, or I will leave the link to this specific product down below. So you're definitely, what is that, $13.50, and then plus whatever the shipping will be. Either way, it's still a lot more affordable than like a beauty blender, or like I said, my SL Miss Glam sponge, which I really love. It's still $15 plus that 10% off coupon. Basically, the story behind this specific product is that it has edges, so that you can get a little bit more precise. You can get into like places that you can't get in with a regular sponge. That's what they're kind of like claiming. So this is kind of what they're saying like each side is good for. So you can contour, you can sculpt, you can bake, conceal, finishing details, blend, highlight, perfect. So basically it's just a little bit more of a triangle on one side. So you can see that that's like pretty much a triangle. It's got two very sharp edges with this edge down the middle. The bottom is completely flat. So that is like super duper just, and then one side is curved like a regular beauty blender. So we're going to be putting this to the test today. I'm going to be giving you my overall thoughts at the end, as well as applying my regular foundation, concealer, bake routine with this sponge so that we can really see how it works and kind of like what I feel. I will be telling you the pros and cons of the product. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Also click that little bell so that you get notified when I upload. And I will see you tomorrow. I hope you guys all had a great Valentine's Day. I did. You guys can go and check my vlog channel. It's got Phoenix's birthday as well as Valentine's Day all mixed into one. So it's nice and long for you guys, and it's really cute. So be sure to go and check that out. I'll leave that link down below as well. And I will see you tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and use my normal foundation because I do have a lot to cover right now. Ooh, that was way too much. You'll notice it's basically like a triangle on one side with sharp edges, and then one side is rounded like a beauty blender. It is very bouncy. It's quite big. The double wedge is for highlight. The ridge is to perfect. The double wedge is to contour. The flat base is to bake and conceal. The point is for finishing details, and the curve is to blend. I will say, when I first got it, I always just go ahead and like rinse it to get it wet, and there was so much soap that came out of it. So keep that in mind, because I was like, whoa, dang. So it's saying that the curved edge is for blending, so oof, it's all running down my arm. So yeah, just keep that in mind that, you know, you do want to make sure that you wash it first, because when I was like just with the water without any soap yet, it was definitely squeezing quite a lot of soap out. So you don't want to just, you know, stick that right onto your face. I don't know if it's soap or if it's something that they put in there. I don't know, but it was just a lot of bubbles. I usually use the bottom of a blender, so this feels quite strange for me, but I will say, like, I had really bad, you know, it's blending everything perfectly. It is nice and bouncy, which I like. It's not too stiff or firm. And at $15, the price point is definitely a lot better, a lot more affordable than the Beauty Blender. I gotta say, it's a little strange for me to feel like I'm just pinching onto the little, like, you know, edges. I am noticing that it is sucking up a lot more product than my usual sponge. Usually, like, I actually applied a little bit too much, and that's all gone, and I'm not finished with my whole face. So maybe it's probably because it's still new, you know, like it's just absorbing like everything at the moment because I literally just opened it. I feel like it definitely gives a good coverage. I mean, other than my hand cramping from pinching onto this corner, like, oof, it's just a little awkward to hold, and I have bad hands anyway from doing hair for so many years. Like, I have trouble even peeling potatoes. This is cramping my hand. Like, my hand is starting to hurt right now. So I don't know if that would happen to everybody, because I don't think everybody has that problem with their hands, but I happen to have that problem. So this is really an uncomfortable position to hold. So I feel like I would prefer to just maybe stamp it on the side, but it says to use the round side. So I don't know. Holding it, it's not the most comfortable, I'll say that. So as far as like actually applying the foundation, I think it did a beautiful job. My coverage is even. It's gotten everything that I needed to cover covered, which was quite a lot. It absorbed a little bit much, but like I said, that could just be because I literally just opened it. And the shape of it is definitely a little awkward to hold. Not my favorite. It's just a little, it just feels a little bit weird. Now, I never contour. I don't use cream contour products because my skin is oily and I just feel like it's just extra work and just makes me extra greasy, so I don't bother. So I'm not going to test it out today using a cream contour because I never do that anyway. But I do want to definitely try it out with my concealer because right now I do usually use my SL Miss Glam sponge to blend out my concealer, so we might as well put it really to the test and give it a good go. It's saying to use the flat edge to conceal, so we're gonna give that a go. So I'm just gonna kind of hold it so that it's in like a point. I will say that little corner is quite nice to get in there where the eye is. It's much easier to hold it this way because now I'm holding onto the whole thing. It's much like user friendly. It doesn't hurt my hand quite as much. The material of it is really soft. Like, I really do like the way it feels on the skin, and it seems to be blending everything out just like beautifully. I think I actually prefer this flat side. I would probably use the flat side for foundation versus this curved side because this curved side is just so hard to hold. So yeah, the flat side blended out my concealer like beautifully, and I feel like it would do the exact same thing with foundation. So I'm gonna say the flat side is definitely what I would use it for. So now I'm gonna go ahead and bake with my foundation, or with my powder. This is the NARS Translucent Crystal Light Reflecting Setting Powder. Now, normally I use a brush with this, but I do want to use this to bake. It's saying to use this flat side to bake as well, so we're just gonna go ahead and stamp it right on in. I feel like the edge is a little awkward right there, like right by the nose, but I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. And I'm just going to press that into basically anywhere that I have pores and lines and crappy stuff. Okay, so normally I would just brush this right off because then I have like a whole nother thing that I do. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my regular brush that I always use. This light is blinding me outside. It's amazing how dry you feel underneath your eyes when you bake versus just pressing it with the brush. That's weird. I never normally bake right there. Okay, so as far as baking, I feel like under the eyes, it's okay until you get to the side of the nose, and then that just feels a little strange, but it's nice and deep in there. Okay guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup. I'll come back when I do the baking situation for this line and see how well it works for that. Okay, so the rest of my makeup is on as far as my base goes. So now we are just gonna go ahead and try it for the baking under the cheek area. Again, I'm gonna take that flat side And I'm just gonna stamp it in, and I'm assuming I'll put the corner in. Oh, that's kind of nice because it like covered the whole area really good for me. Yeah, that worked really nicely. You know, I gotta say, I like this. I think the flat side is probably my favorite. I would probably use the flat side for everything. For foundation, for concealer, and for baking. The edge in that case was really helpful because you can see it's created a really beautiful crisp line. So I have to say, overall, I think it's actually a really great sponge. For $15, that's really affordable. Like I said, I like my SL Miss Glam Beauty Sponge. This is what I usually use, and then there is a small edge on that. I actually never use it. But this is, I believe, $19 or $20. So it's $5 more. I do love that one. I use it daily. I think it's a great beauty sponge. But if you do want to save yourself a little bit of extra money, plus with Sigma, you can use that code, which is 10% off. I will leave the code down below as well as the link to this product. I feel like if you are on a budget and you are looking for a dupe for a beauty blender, I think this is definitely a great dupe. It's the cheapest dupe that actually works, because you can see, like, you can buy the really cheap ones. I still need to try the e.l.f. one and let you guys know, but I think the Beauty Blender is like at least 20 something. I don't know the exact price. I'll have to put it in the description box for you guys. But for 15 bucks plus that 10% off coupon code, I think this is a really great dupe. I think that you'd be happy with it. Like I said, that rounded edge is a little bit awkward to hold. I would say the flat edge is probably going to be really great for everything that you need to do. And then you could always just blend it a little bit with the round side so you're not holding the round side for so long. But yeah, I was actually kind of skeptical going into it because I was like, oh, the edges, they scare me. But I think, especially for baking, it did a beautiful job. So go Sigma, yay, that's awesome. I think their price point is good. I think the actual density plus the bounciness of the sponge is really good. But just make sure that when you first get it, make sure you rinse all of that soap out, because there was a lot of bubbles. I don't know if it's soap. I don't know what exactly the product is in there, but there was a lot of bubbles. So when you first get it, make sure that you squeeze it, hold it under some water, and get all of those bubbles out first before you go to wash it, and then before you use it on your face, just to make sure that you get everything out, because I felt like the more I held it under the water and kept squeezing it, the bouncier it got. It felt a little stiff at first. I'm going to give this a thumbs up, guys. As far as the texture goes, it's just as good as both of those other sponges that I use. It's just a difference in edges. But if you are someone who likes really precise contouring, really precise baking, you can get in here really well, you can get around the nose really well, I think you would actually really like this sponge, and you can see like how bouncy and big it is. I hope you guys found that helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you did find this helpful. Subscribe if you're new. All of the links will be down below, as well as that coupon code if you do want to purchase this sponge. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.